Thanks for staying with us. So, during the papers, we took a story concerning the conviction of Baba Ijesha. He was convicted by the court in Lagos State to 16 years for raping the underage. And obviously, there's been quite a bit of reactions, both on social media and on mainstream media. What are your thoughts on this, especially because of what transpired afterwards? So, yes, the court made the judgments, but many people came out to condemn. A few people, for example, Yomi Fabi was condemned, a few people that were asking for justice to be served, and many were condemned. What are your thoughts on all the brouhaha that happened after the announcement was made by the courts? You can call us on 081-270-53687, 091-390-7694. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag your view TVC so we can read your tweet. Okay, so one of the reasons why we wanted to take this story was because of, not just because of the conviction, because everybody's happy about the conviction, but is the reactions. And one of such was from Yomi Fabi, because everybody was saying that, oh, he was the one that was almost, quote-unquote, supporting. Although I beg to differ. Like, I don't think he was literally supporting that guy. He was more saying, listen, let the rule of law follow its own course. Let me read for him. He said that if the defendant insists that he's innocent of the other charges, it is within his rights if he chooses to appeal. And if he exhausts all options and the judgment stands, he should serve his term. And I hope he will learn lessons and turn a new leaf. I'm still committed to the frontiers of human rights, and that all accused are innocent until proven guilty. That's Yomi Fabi. So now,
this was recent. This was yesterday.
I think just this for yesterday. So those are the two things: the conviction, people's response, and Yomi Fabi's response. That's really the hot topic. What are your thoughts? Let me come to you, BC.
You know, when I heard first, then I saw the video of Princess. The first one I saw, she was dancing, she was jubilating, and I could understand. You know, at the time that issue happened, it seemed like she was left alone by the people that mattered the most to her, the people she had looked up to, the people who were supposed to be holding her hand to say, don't worry, we're going to fight this to the end. There was just a few people who stood. Yabo Ojo stood by her and did not even care about any other thing. So it was victory for her to say that, oh, okay, so justice can be given, justice can be had in this country. And it's hope for a lot of people who have gone through a form of abuse or another, to say that if you are ready to fight the fight and you're ready to follow through, you can have justice. I think it was a step in the right direction to see this justice being served. But, you know, this other guy, Yomi, who keeps speaking and speaking, I'm beginning to suspect him. Because at the time this event started and, you know, Princess was crying up and down, you know, looking for justice and everything, he kept speaking and speaking and standing as if it was too personal for him. And people were beginning to ask, are you sure you're not even the same sort of man? Are you sure you're not this kind of person? For you to still stand, there's a time for you to pack up your bags and go. There's a time for you to keep quiet. If you know that it can be appealed, why don't you go straight and start making that arrangement to appeal? Why are you telling us that justice has to be done, justice has to be here?
Is that factual?
No. We don't need that information right now. Go and do your groundwork and take it to the court. So I don't take it to the appeal court. You don't have to keep telling us justice. So this justice that we got now, are you telling us is not the real justice?
No.
Is it the fake justice? Okay, no, there's a right time for everything. Let your good not be evil spoken of. You need to pay attention.
Let me come back to you. Nima, what are your thoughts on this?
So a lot of them, I agree with BC to an extent, a lot of these actors, all of them were cloud chasing on this, including Iyabo Ojo, say with no sense of responsibility here. A lot of them were cloud chasing on this. The concern for me, like I said before, is the young girl, not even Princess. So because now, you know, what we are seeing here and there is our reactions. Two parties are affected by this whole act and the judgment. The girl, Baba Ijesha. Those are the two people whose lives have been affected. Every freedom fighter who has carried this matter on their head and all of that, you know, obviously, some are even obviously cloud chasing, some are just doing image laundry. Yomi Fabi, for instance, is caught on the wrong side. So, and he said something very factual now. It was caught on the wrong side. So if it's about cloud chasing, is there anything wrong in standing up for someone you believe or not? He believes in Baba Ijesha, so he stood up for him. If Baba Ijesha was acquitted today, he would then start doing the same thing. So they're all cloud chasing. The two people who are most affected by it, and I hope that for this girl helps her to find closure, is the young girl. The courts they didn't establish rape. They didn't establish defilement. Those were not established, and so he got acquitted on those counts. But this indecent assault of the young girl and all of that they were able to, because even based on the video, we could see indecent assault, and at the end of the day, he's doing 5 years. We want to wish that, you know, the first attempt where he actually penetrated that girl was something that the court were able to establish, or even the second one.
So that's a more grievous crime.
Those are the more grievous one, and the more deterring one. And so as it is now for me, I saw the judgment yesterday and I was like, good. This would encourage other people who would think, oh no, he's of a certain exposure and so nothing will be done, to speak up.
Right.
But I hope that these same people start an advocacy and they speak up for every person.
Okay, so let me come to Tokwe, because we see in civilized world, you know, you see the bad, the good, the ugly. So even a criminal has family members who are crying in court. Even O.J. Simpson had people who were supporting him. So, and if you're supporting O.J. Simpson and he got convicted, now, do we not say, oh, I mean, how do you, is that the right way for us to, because to react to this kind of things? It happened, yes, but somebody was caught, somebody was guilty, somebody had to be guilty at some point. Yes, but how is our reaction civil at this stage in our lives as a country?
Okay, so when life happens to us, and every human being at a point in life might happen to you. You might be caught doing something embarrassing, something you don't want. They say, may we have someone that will have our back. You know, it's good to have friends when things are good, but do you have friends when things are bad?
Yeah.
A friend that will tell you the truth. So, and I recollect, even when this situation was happening, that Yomi Fabiyi did not say Baba Ijesha was innocent.
He never said that, yeah.
He never said it. He was always of the opinion that don't do social media trials. All of you have called him guilty, they should castrate him, life imprisonment. But this is someone you've known since forever. That's why my first statement was, may we never get to that point where we're faced with a challenge and everybody is now, you are rejected and cast out. That for me is wrong. Even in the worst case scenario, you should have someone by your back. And then we now have cyberbullying. Another part of this story, cyber conviction, cyberbullying. We know there is no proof backing some stories. But because the entire social media is campaigning and canvassing for one side of the story, if you are seen to say the opposite or ask that, can we just look at both sides of the story? The moment you say it, everybody comes for you. You are against, they insult, they say all sorts of curses on such a person. That's not the way life is. Everybody must look at both sides of the story. That's why we have justice system. Of course, we will feel like this thing is right. There are many people who have been jailed innocently just because some people have felt they've said it and this is the fact. And they are innocent. So when we use online, I'll mention the Doen story. I know the challenge that I faced. Plenty of people all around saying, it's not true. That boy was murdered. This and this happened. I said, but listen to me. All of us are saying things based on one person's perspective, an emotional, valid perspective. Absolutely. But the fact is ABC. Nobody wanted to hear that. Even right now that I'm saying it, I know that they will still come for me on the situation. But the truth is, we must seek the truth. We must get facts. So we choose. Don't just be emotional about things and be shouting online.
And that's the issue, the emotional roller coaster we take ourselves on. And when the government tries to regulate social media, we also come for them. That why would you do that? You want to gag the media. These kinds of things that we express. I'm going to go on a quick break. When we come back, we'll open our phone lines to hear from our viewers. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. You know, when we discussed how we want a better Nigeria for ourselves, and we always look to, oh, the government must change this. And you see the way our people behave, the unrefined, the uncivilized, the uncouth way we react to things, we do jungle justice, we take laws into our own hands, we bully people, cyberbullying, and selfishness. And you think to yourself, you think the government will be doing infrastructure, but even the people, our minds, the kinds of things people come out to say, the cursing, even though, yes, this, as you said, this judgment went this way. If you had gone the other way, we'll probably see the same reactions. And you're thinking to yourself, because, I mean, when the president says he wished he was military, that, the things he would have done. but this due process is just taking too long. The same thing. Do we want a civilized society? Let us agree. If we want the no problem. Well, let us get in. Let us therefore have a society that is all about how we do gra to get justice.
As Nigerians, we must learn to trust the systems that we want to work for us. We are the ones who run to these systems. When the system takes process, we are the ones that say the process is too short.
Yeah.
I will use this case in question now. When the arrest was done, and the police were saying we were investigating, we predicted that, no, they'll be brought over.
Yes.
When COVID came, and Baba Ijesha was entitled to bail.
Yes.
If he was, the Commissioner of Police in Lagos said he was entitled to bail.
That's the law.
That's the law. How many of these people who went live then found a lawyer and said, what is the process? What does the law say? What does the ACJL say? Can we trust this? Okay, you'll be prosecuting or holding watching brief, and I'll be coming to court with you every day and sit on it. After a while, everybody moved on, including Yomi Fabiyi. Now, Yomi Fabiyi's own is even worse, because now that he has been convicted, if you are truly standing by him, based on, as Tokwe said, you know him, see him all the way to his appeal.
Yeah, that's what I expect.
And even when he gets a final conviction at the Supreme Court, wherever you take the, see him in jail. You know that.
That's what he's done.
No,
I think that's what he's done. That's what he's done.
He spoke. No. He said, and he should repent. Yeah. I'm saying, I want to see the process. How many of these so-called popular people who were eating amala at Yaba White House then, after they went to protest somewhere at Panti, how many of them were in court yesterday? How many of them were in court every day saying, I know how this will turn out. I want to see it to the end. I want to see it to the end. So
you're talking about the sincerity.
I question it.
Okay, let me take this call from Olani and I'll come to you. Olani, are you there? Thanks for calling from Ogun State.
Yes, I'm there.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
Yes. Nema is not allowing me to talk.
No, listen
Nema,
to...
Let me contribute.
Yes, go ahead.
Thank you, Morayo of Olabi Brown. I want to contribute on this Baba Ijesha issue.
Yes.
It's a lesson for all of us men. When Yoruba people say, when you don't walk around the periphery of evil, people will not come to you and start keeping lights on you. It's a lesson to all of us. Because what is the relationship with our princess? So, and this acting they are doing, we are carrying it too far. We are coloring irresponsibility. You see, that is the issue. Let us all learn lesson, most of us, most especially women. The Baba Ijesha of a man, I know very well. He has issue with I think he admitted he's not married and everything. If you are responsible and come of age, get married. Stay with a woman. That will take away a lot of insult from you. The fact that you have a woman in your life that you can call and people know you are responsible, they will not come around you with all these terrible things. He has learned his lesson in a very big way. And there is goodness in all evils. When you look at it from other angle.
Someone was saying, BC, that we should be celebrating Princess and all the other women did. And I think that's not what we're not saying we're not celebrating. I think it was a good thing that they were on it. The issue is the way in which, I think you talk about the sincerity. You know, did they stay on that matter till the end? And just so happened that this judgment was in favor. You know, but it's the sincerity that we're questioning, not that we're not celebrating what efforts these women did put in place. Yes, go ahead.
No, you cannot question people's sincerity because you do not know what is going on behind the scenes. Now, something has happened and everybody gets emotional. That you cannot take away from people. If it happens to an outsider that is not connected, you are very good at being objective. You be objective, you are objective, you analyze the issues and all of that. But if it hits close to home, naturally, every human being, not only in Nigeria, even outside the country, they become emotional. You are not thinking with your logical sense at the time. And people will react. And that's why we have a system that is supposed to check those reactions and ensure it doesn't get out of hand. That's the job of government, and government should be held accountable for that. But saying that you are questioning the sincerity of the people who came out to speak because they did not follow through in going to court every day, people have businesses that they are doing. You could have shown your support at the moment and you had to go back to work. You are checking in because we don't know if they are checking in, asking Princess questions. How far, what's happening about the case, what have you heard and all of that. They don't necessarily have to abandon everything and go and sleep in court to show loyalty.
Unfortunately,
you can show
once in a while.
You can show loyalty.
Not every day.
Excuse me now. These people are actors. They are on set. They are working. Most of them are working. Yeah. They could have called Princess. They could have done some other moves. They could have sent him money. Okay, we're supporting for this. We're supporting for that. Just keep us abreast. We cannot sit down and question their sincerity because of what you see, that you are not seeing them follow through. It's not every action that is in the public. Some things are done underground.
Let me put clarity on this. Yes, let me put clarity on this, and I'll do it carefully. I had a woman whose daughter was assaulted, came to me. I guided. I followed her till we got to the state of prosecution. The moment the state took over, I assured her every phone call that it will be done. But you know what that woman did? She, the mother of that girl, did not leave her daughter or leave this country. She showed up in court every day. Courts are scheduled. You don't have to come to court and go live to be in court. You are abreast of everything, the situation, the state of mind of the girl part-time. And I'm saying this because we all get popular on different things. But when we get popular on things like this, we should consider, I said it the first time when we analyzed this case, that girl could have been, could be anybody's victim. A pedestal for anybody to get popular. And I'm saying it very carefully. I'm not questioning whether they put their resources or anything, but the concern would have been for that girl and that girl only. Going live, dancing, eating, all of those things irritated me by these people who I would have called respected people of society.
So let me be sure I hear you. Yours is that the main primary concern should have been this girl's rehabilitation,
that's all.
Focus. All the opportunities of going to court,
going live, calling out Governor Sanwo-Olu, calling out the IG of police, the commissioner of police, demeaning offices as if these offices were all corrupt. You were just shouting and everybody, these were building up emotions. The justice has now come, so it's and it served on cases that were established.
It further demeans the essence of these major institutions that are supposed to actually support the Nigerian. Okay, let me come to you, top of your thoughts.
I respect everybody's opinion. We don't necessarily have to agree with it. I feel that we look at the world from our own lens, how we see, and then we expect everybody to behave the way we behave. But that's not the way other people. The way I show support from the way Nima will show support. The way if Nima wants to support, Nima will be there. Nima would physically, she would be on ground. She would, if she's coming, she's bringing tea, she's bringing agbo, she's calling it. That's her. I might not do like that. So if you're talking to someone who is a social media person that shows support, their own is to say, let me put it on my online. I love to dance. Oh, some people, she's showing off. Oh, because she wants to show you her house. It's because she wants to do, I'm dancing for me, oh. But somebody else is looking at it through their own lens of how they see things being done. I don't think that's even the real issue here. You've touched on the real issue. A girl has been defiled. And thankfully, they were able to get some form of justice for this girl. What are the lessons we're learning from this?
So part of the lessons I want to understand is that, was there need for cursing people? So, for example, Yaribo was cursed. Baba, the other guy, Fabi, you know. So I understand the emotion and pain, you know, everybody involved was going through, which is what you're saying. We understand the emotions. But is that the right thing for us to do?
Morayo, you cannot tell people what's the right thing to do. If there's no, if you can decide to cry and you are opening your mouth. Some people will cry, they will close their mouth and they are crying. So like people have different ways of expressing themselves. You know, we're talking about people that are angry and they now beat or lash out. That they are beaters who now found opportunity to beat. You are a curser. You know how to curse. Cursing is your thing. So you now, when you are aggravated, what will you do? You
talk to that.
So that's
if you're an English speaker, if you're an angry,
you will speak more English. So that's just our way. But I also want to also say this thing, please. What we see, we would think is the right thing. So let's, even when we accept that this is what they are doing because of what they know, let us also establish what's the right thing.
What's the right thing to do?
If for any reason you find that somebody you know when to steal, or somebody you know when to do something that you don't like, or something committed a crime, it doesn't mean that you will not abandon the person. Standing by the person is the right thing to do.
Which what you said. Let me take this call. Emeka's been holding for a while. Sorry. Let me, Emeka, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
You're live. Go ahead, please. Sorry for keeping you.
Yeah, I want to make a contribution to the issue of Baba Ijesha.
Yes.
Louder, please.
When the other lady was talking, she made a statement that on social media, people talk according to their emotional belief, how they see things. And it's not supposed to be so. But I want to let her understand that why it's like that is because our judiciary are not to be trusted. That is the problem.
I can't hear him.
Our judiciary are not to be trusted.
Is it on national television? Okay, we can't hear him.
We lost him.
Sorry, please. I think it's yes, because we say stand by the person that you know, but tell the person the truth. What you did is wrong. I'm hoping that in the case of what we're doing, we're able to get you the most reduced sentence possible. Also, when we go online and we're talking online, we are not judges. You were not there. Maybe you saw a video or you heard an account. In social media, we have judges, lawyers that did not go to school, and they would sentence you to court, they sentence you to we do all of these things without any basis, any factual basis. We should stop it, because by the time we do this, we don't allow, we cast aspersions on the judicial system. Nima was saying they were calling the governor, they were calling the judges, they were, all of those things, they're not necessary, there's no need for drama. Let justice be served. Your claim should be that there's no party should be treated unfairly at the end of the day.
Because we respect every citizen, and you're innocent until proven guilty.
It's always innocent until proven guilty.
So, and that's what we signed up for in democracy. Unless we don't want democracy again.
See, Baba Ijesha, for me, is not, just as that caller said, once you don't walk around evil, it doesn't, So maybe from his way of life and all of these things, this is how he got what he got for himself. Maybe something he's used to. And this is advice for other people. And so he deserved what he got. But the system did not enable him. And the system will not go and create, if you are unable to prove it, and place it on him, because we all think he is that kind of person. We know a lot of people that are pedophiles, that we know a lot of people that we have heard and all of, but we cannot prove. And so we cannot take away their lives because we must get emotional.
Let me get a quick break. When we come back, we'll wrap up on this. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your view will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. We have Oluwatosin. Good morning, Oluwatosin. Are you there?
Yes, good morning, ladies.
Go ahead, please.
I'm a first-time caller.
Welcome to the show.
I'm happy I actually got through on this same topic.
Yes.
And most importantly, I agree with all the, the points all the ladies have made. But I'll also like to say, until you wear the shoes, you don't actually know where it pinches.
Yeah.
Of most importance is what's happening to the girl, the victim in this circumstance. And also the well-being of the guy that was involved. He's been sent to prison for information and all that. I hope moving forward he learns his lessons and, become a changed person. But like with regard to the social media frenzy and how people are going about it, like Viti said one good thing, how people, and Topper said the same thing, you react to it the same way you are brought up, the way you are taught, the way you handle matters, especially with people that deal with social media. The best way they feel they can contribute to their own quota to issues like that, because you always shout that people need to make victims comfortable. So they need to give a platform for people to know that no matter what, once you know your issue, we'll make noise about it and we'll get justice. And the truth is, not everybody will support openly. To the end, people were there, because people that did not even show face or identify with the victim were monitoring that. I'm a lawyer too. I was interested in that case and was there till the end. So it's not the same coin for everyone. And I'm happy that justice was gotten. And more importantly, for the people cutting on social media, I think it's something that has to be condemned as well. Our cyberspace should not support such acts. What is bad is bad. Also, we should focus on the information of victims and how we can all get better in reporting issues and dealing with them. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, so it's good to try as much as possible to be civil, but when it happens to you directly, you cannot be held on how you have chosen to react, because at that time you're reacting from a place of pain. It's after you have sat down a few days, a few weeks, a few months later that you now start reasoning right. But at the time it's happening, people would react the way they deem fit to react. It's just left for people around them to say, okay, this is not the right move. Can you calm down a bit? Let's help you handle this. But like the caller mentioned, I wanted to also say, now that the judgment has been won, we are excited. Probably till they now take it to the appeal court later on. But right now, we have gotten a form of judgment that has given hope to people. Let us not forget this girl. I would want to hear conversations on how this girl is being treated right now, what sort of therapy she's seeing right now, how is she being integrated into the society right now. And I just wish Princess could come on the show and tell us what is happening with this girl. Let's not, in the frenzy of they don't catch him, they don't fail, we don't win, we forget the person who is the real victim of this.
I got into where I'm going. God bless you. Let me take this tweet. Love Day Ogaga says, you guys are on point. We get too emotional and demand jungle justice without facts. How many journalists or activists has attended the court case involving the Uniben lecturer accused of rape? All those who posted on social media moved on. It's time to regulate social media. I have been attending the court sittings involving the Uniben lecturer, and my eyes have opened to more hypocrisy of Nigerians. Wow. They get sentimental and want to be seen or heard on trending issues, whether it has facts or not, and ghost when it matters. Still on the Uniben rape case as case study, all news media, blogs carried the allegations and video of the lecturer, but none were in court. Even on day one till date, they are never there to get facts, but report gossip and rumors. That's where I have a problem. Yeah. So this is a real life injury to somebody. Fantastic. Somebody has been raped, whether or not it was a complete entire sexual assault, but somebody's life is being affected. And so while you are saying, immediately happens, most of the people here, it didn't happen to them. They are not the mothers of this child. The people that it happened to, you don't even know how their psychology is at the time. You are now thinking, no, on this I have 10,000 followers, I can get 10,000 additional, let me go on live. And you go on live at somebody's expense. You go live, you get more followers. I know some people, for some, I don't want to mention their name here, it was a business. They were the interviewers of all the people affected, these so-called people, and getting more people to join and, jumping on this frenzy and getting followers. But the young girl's life, the young girl's psychology, her well-being at the time, until date.
Let me take Okoyemi from Ibadan. Good morning, Okoyemi. Are you still there?
Yeah, good morning.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, first time caller. I need
to the show.
Since Friday, I've been trying. Now, a quick one. I've been listening to you ladies since morning, and I must say, honestly, and that's why I love to watch your show every morning. There's no wrong answer. There's no right answer. I love the perspective that everybody brought on the table today. Most times when I watch you, even myself, I get developed. It helps me to think in several boxes, and I love that. And talk about, I like what you did this morning. You're trying to, balance the equation. It's good anyway. And to all of you, you guys are amazing.
Thank you, Okoyemi.
Continue to do what you're doing. And I'll talk about that something that I want to do something. I'm hoping that when I call on you, you guys will actually come to honor me. Now, on the matter this morning, really, there's one major thing we are facing in Nigeria today is social media. I don't know, but everybody is a judge, and you will see causes, even on these political things. You will see people, but like my husband said, it's a way of trying to cool down.
Engage people.
When people are jobless, just go there and just begin to say whatever it is that you feel like saying. But seriously, let's do something to bring it down. And then Nima and the other ladies have been hammering on something, and that is the girl. What do we do to help her? Now, again, let's also take a tilt away from it and back to the man. Now, while they say they are changing him from prison to rehabilitation. How will they help him to get better?
Because in 5 years, he comes back out.
Thank you. Oh, God. Can't hear her. It's lowering down. Okay, thank you so much, Okoyemi. See, I totally agree with everybody. I just said I totally agree with everybody, but my only worry is how we continue with this frenzy. If I were in the shoes of maybe those who were clamoring for justice, maybe this morning or yesterday, I would have done Thanksgiving. Yeah. I'll just be thanking God. If I go live at all, I'll just be thanking God that, at least this girl got justice. Maybe I wouldn't curse because I'm not predisposed to cursing anybody. So maybe I just said, it's based on Unika Luku. Everybody know how their personality is. Yeah. So I get that part. But the more crucial thing for us is how do we ensure that we reform society such that girls like this the girl in Benin, in University of Benin, different people get justice without this social media frenzy. How do we educate somebody, a rape victim, to get justice almost immediately? How do we have that staying power to get justice, even no matter how long it takes?
So, Mariah, one of the biggest challenges we have is the justice system. You know, the justice system is so slow that people feel like if I don't take things to social media, I won't get justice. If something happens, they would say, let me get a media house to jump on this so that we can make noise, and then they will take the case serious. So we need to go back and let justice work. Let it just
Pause. Is it possible that if the princess did not make this much noise, maybe those who have influence may have found a way to sweep this thing under the carpet?
Is
that the issue that we have with the justice system? So it's the princess and all the others are making noise. Say, let us make noise, so that they don't go and sweep this thing under the carpet.
And it happens everywhere. So our world is full of so much noise without true substance. And we're not really achieving long-term results because we're dealing with one case per time. And what we need is structural reform that provides justice for all. I need to say something, just two things quickly. Number one, we need to encourage listening to other people's varied opinions. That's what this show is about. You don't need to agree with me. Whether I am obedient or batified or articulated, you be your own. Absolutely. Let me be my own.
In peace.
If I say my own on my own page, why do you come to my page and insult me? Or, like, just say your own now. But we don't do that. You feel everybody must join you. If they don't join you, they are horrible people. Let us appreciate each person's opinion and in a logical way try to convince them of our own view.
Are we civilized enough for that? Let me are we, because I always have this argument that maybe democracy is not for people like us. Because the truth is, whether we like it or not, I've said it before and a lot of people have said, Mariah, you are wrong. But if I have a community full of these people, right? And only this small percentage are educated enough and can reason to pick a right leader. And I have this huge population who don't really care. Just say, vote right, they go right, go left. But only this small population. So should we ensure that only that 10% votes? Because they are the only ones. I know it's difficult. We're going to
for the people by the...
Because these people, they don't understand. So the Oyinbos that are using social media, they are civilized enough to say, okay, it's your opinion. That's you. Me, I agree with you. But our own people, are we civilized? No, we are not. We fight, we shout, we condemn you, we maim, we do everything because I don't like talk, I'm going to do the destroyer. So maybe this social media said, this one brought it to Africa.
We will continue to talk about it.
Keep it where it's supposed to be and let us continue. Let's go back to the backward mentality. So let's grow organically, gradually, because we have fast forward progress that you are giving progress to these people who don't get it. They're not handling it.
Nigerians do not trust the justice system because Nigerians are the ones who abuse the system. Nigerians are the ones whose sons and daughters will abuse another person and say, I know, but can you people help me? Don't let family names spoil. This same system, before this case of Baba Ijesha, created a sexual offense, special court for this kind of offenses. They created the domestic sexual violence court, emergency court, and it was enacted by the House of Assembly in this state. As we sat this morning, a father who committed incest on 3 of his daughters was sentenced to life. So what are we saying?
So it works.
It works. Wow. We know it works. But because we know what we are capable of, we will not come and say, no, that thing we are capable of can be done in this case. If we always leave the system to work on its own, what we are providing, see, a judge sitting in any case cannot leave the law and come and say, okay, now I'm not using this law again. I'm going to use, I know Yadagbaja's son when he was a child. He's not capable of this. She can't decide like that. So they would always come by what you prove and what you put in front of them.
Let me take
and
this
it's happening every day in a state like this.
I have to wrap up on this. I have to bring in our guest. But let me take this call from Tokumbo. Tokumbo, are you there?
Yes, I am.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
Yes, I'm a first-time caller.
Welcome to the show.
One thing I've noticed, you people are taking this side. I understand Baba Ijesha is wrong. Definitely, we all know that most likely. And the court has said. But you've also gone ahead to talk about what Yomi Fabi said after the verdict. But you've not said what Princess said after the verdict. She's been reading courses. Are the children of Yomi Fabi?
We mentioned it. Brian has been saying it since.
But you didn't really say it much. You're not really talking about her.
Brian has been talking about the courses.
Making curses. No, you've not said a video. I've been watching. You've not really said that part. And that's extremely wrong. I'm definitely not in support of what Baba Ijesha has done. No one will be in support of it. I'm a father, I'm a lawyer. But it's wrong for us to be raining curses on people's children. Does it make sense? And you're not talking about that part.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
So Kumbo feels like we have not spoken enough about Princess cursing Mama Rainbow.
Oh, yes.
Children.
Yeah, I mean,
like Brian mentioned, maybe we did not, maybe because he did not specify that it was Princess that is cursing. She mentioned the cursing. She mentioned, and we've all agreed here, it is wrong to place curses. Let's trust the system. However, for us,
in my
it is
response,
wrong. For her, it is our own way.
So what you said was that we are all different people, and we all react differently. So for example, if she's a cursed person, that's how she knows how to do it. I'm saying my own is praise worship. If I had gotten that kind of, if I was the one in this case, the first thing I call, Pastor, look at me, Pastor, this, let us do praise and worship. Let us just thank God for this justice. That's what me I would be predisposed to do. But I want to
but Mariah, you asked the question. You said, is it possible that it was the noise they made that even made the case go this far? With the society we're living in right now, you need that noise. You need that noise because the system that we have made not to work. So everybody, I'm passing the responsibility across everybody.
Let me ask a quick question.
So we have made the system not to work. And we know that if we keep quiet and say, okay, let's handle this thing without making that noise, things may go under the carpet and nothing happens.
But is it justifiable what they did of cursing someone like an Rainbow?
No. The cursing is wrong.
Yes.
Hold on now.
Rainbow has lived their life. There's no cause that somebody wants to curse her. I'm saying Yomi Fabi's children, why do they have to be responsible for their father's stand on this? Why are you cursing all the way his generation?
So let me finish by saying that I will not sit here and say cursing is good. No matter how pained you are, we do not believe in cursing. Right. And even the scripture says there's no costless curse. No costless curse shall stand. So the cursing is you're wasting your saliva, nothing will happen. All the people who have been praying fall down and die. For that many people are falling down and died in their family. It doesn't work. So let us try as much as possible to be civil. That's why education is important. And I always talk about family systems. There are some things that your family member will be doing. Say, come inside the house now. Let us hide this shame. This is wrong. People should be able to tell her that what you're doing is wrong. You shouldn't go on public social media to say this sort of thing. Let's focus on that. But this noise, till Nigeria gets to a place where we are civilized enough to understand other people's perspective, trust the system, not trying to sabotage the system when it happens to us because we feel we have money or we have connection. Something happens to you, you are calling. Last night held me the other day. I had to go and pay 20,000 naira. I did not call anybody. So because my driver committed that offense and we had to pay. But other people, instead of paying that money, we start calling, call this person, call that person. That is how we start. So as Nigerians, we should determine in our hearts that we're going to make this system work. But we will still keep shouting. Somebody collected money from me, did not deliver her that year. I came here and I shouted, and she returned it.
Yes.
Simple.
So the jungle, the noise. The noise. I call it jungle, but the noise sometimes helps. This climb.
Yes.
So
we get to that stage.
So can we be constructive in calling her?
Maybe.
Because this lady, this one that sold baby food, she called out the governor in such vehement. Can she now come and say, Governor Sanwo-Olu, I apologize?
She should.
Say thank you.
And thank you for justice. Are they all of them going to do videos now?
She should. They should.
No, it's not Governor Sanwo-Olu. It's the justice system.
They insulted everybody. So they should.
The governor is the executive. He's not the justice system. But the way they called him, you think he can call the chief judge and say, Chief Judge, just say about this.
That's the unrefined, uncivilized way.
Just one final
Yoruba movie.
One final point.
Yeah, let's go.
Many times rape victims don't get justice. Many rape cases cannot get tried because there is no evidence. And we must understand the system to solve the problem. So the system in Nigeria is, if anybody gets raped, go to the hospital. The first reaction is you
go to any primary health care center.
Wash your body. The first response is to want to wash your body. The first response is to want to clean yourself of that experience. Don't clean up. Go to a primary health care center. Now, if you are in Lagos, go to Mirabel Center. There are many other, there's this place, Warif in Yaba, but a primary health care center.
What Nigerians also need to do is always identify the primary health center in your area.
Yeah.
You don't even know it.
Things like
Then go there, they're supposed to have rape kits.
Yes.
And I know, I've heard a few times where they will say, no, this primary health care does not have, another one has, where they have, done Nigerianness, of course, on the kits that have been distributed. But ensure that until you get a rape kit and that sample is taken, don't do anything otherwise.
Wash.
And then go to the police station. The family units in each of these police stations are supposed to assist you to get evidence taken, in case it's not a complete coit rape yet.
Okay, we can wrap up with that. Thank you very much, ladies. I like the different perspectives. It's good. The show is your view. So what we do is elicit various perspectives to an issue. But you can have your view. You can join us on social media as you wish. Let's go on a break. When we come back, we'll bring in our guests. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your view.
The lack of show, me tell you, send me